Decline of Bollywood comedy. Bollywood comedy's golden era comedy has long been a cornerstone of Bollywood cinema, a genre that resonates deeply with India's diverse audience. From the slapstick humor of the 1960s to the witty, character-driven comedies of the 1990s, Bollywood's comedic legacy is rich and varied. The transcript begins by invoking the spirit of classic Bollywood comedies, referencing iconic films like Bhoot Bangla 1965, Padosan 1968, Bombay to Goa 1972, Golmaal 1979, Angur 1982, Jane Bhi Do Yaro 1983, and Anda's Apna Apna 1994. These films, as the speaker notes, represent the pinnacle of Bollywood comedy, characterized by sharp writing, memorable characters, and a unique ability to blend humor with cultural commentary. To understand the decline of Bollywood comedy, we must first explore its golden era. In the 1960s and 1970s, Bollywood comedies were often light-hearted, family-friendly, and rooted in everyday life. Padosan, for instance, is a masterclass in situational comedy revolving around a love triangle and a musical rivalry. The film's humor arises from the exaggerated yet relatable characters such as Bhola, Sunil Dutt, Guru, Kishore Kumar, and Vidyapati, Mahmood. Mahmood, in particular, was a comedic genius whose ability to steal scenes with his eccentric mannerisms and impeccable timing made him a household name. His performance in Padosan exemplifies the era's reliance on character-driven humor, where actors brought scripts to life through improvisation and natural charisma. Similarly, Golmaal 1979, directed by Hrishikesh Mukherjee, showcased the brilliance of Amol Palekar as the everyman caught in a web of lies. The film's humor was subtle yet uproarious, relying on clever dialogue and situational misunderstandings rather than slapstick or crude gags. Angur, a 1982 adaptation of Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors, demonstrated Bollywood's ability to blend literary sophistication with mass appeal. Directed by Gulzar, the film featured Sanjeev Kumar and Devan Verma in dual roles, delivering a comedy of mistaken identities that remains timeless. These films were not just entertaining, they were cultural artifacts that reflected India's social fabric. They tackled themes like class divides, regional differences, and familial bonds with humor that was accessible yet profound. The speaker's nostalgia for this era is palpable as they lament the transition from such classics to modern comedies like Jodhwa 2, Houseful 4, and Coolie No. 1. To understand this decline, we must trace the evolution of Bollywood comedy and identify the factors that led to its devolution. The role of sidekick comedians. One of the defining features of Bollywood's comedic golden age was the presence of sidekick comedians, as highlighted in the transcript. These characters, often played by legends like Johnny Walker, Keshto Mukherjee, Asrani, Shakti Kapoor, Kader Khan, and Johnny Lever, were not mere comic relief but integral to the film's narrative and appeal. The speaker notes that these sidekicks had their own fan base, with audiences flocking to theatres to witness their chemistry with the hero. Johnny Walker, for instance, was a pioneer of this archetype. Known for his drunkard roles, he brought a unique blend of pathos and humor to films like Pyasa 1957 and Mr. Mrs. 55 1955. His characters were often flawed yet endearing, reflecting the struggles of the common man. Keshto Mukherjee, another stalwart, specialized in playing the lovable drunk, with his disheveled appearance and slurred speech becoming synonymous with Bollywood comedy. In Padosan, his role as the music teacher's assistant added a layer of hilarity to the film's musical sequences. Asrani, with his iconic line "Hum Angrezon ke zamane ke jailer hain" from Sholay 1975, became a cultural phenomenon. His ability to deliver deadpan humor in high-stakes situations made him a versatile performer. Shakti Kapoor, known for his villainous roles, also excelled as a comedian, with characters like Crime Master Gogo in Anda's Apna Apna becoming legendary. Kader Khan, a multifaceted talent, was both a writer and actor, contributing to the success of films like Muqaddar Ka Sikandar 1978 and Coolie 1983. His dialogues, often laced with humor and wisdom, elevated the films he was part of. Johnny Lever, as the speaker emphasizes, was the torchbearer of this tradition in the 1990s and early 2000s. With his rapid-fire delivery and physical comedy, Lever dominated films like Bazigar 1993, Judwa 1997, and Dulhe Raja 1998. His ability to improvise and adapt to any role made him a standout performer. The transcript rightly notes that Liver single-handedly kept the breed of sidekick comedians alive for nearly 20 years. However, with the rise of hero-centric narratives and the decline of ensemble casts, this breed has become completely dead in Bollywood. The evolution of comedy from wit to slapstick, the 1980s and 1990s marked a shift in both. The current state of Bollywood comedy. Transcript paints a bleak picture of Bollywood comedy in the 2020s, describing it as a genre that has not only stagnated but regressed. Films like Houseful 5, Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3, Kulinam 1 2020, and Bhutni are cited as evidence of this decline, characterized by poor writing, uninspired performances, and a desperate reliance on nostalgia. The speaker argues that while other genres have evolved, comedy has become a caricature of its former self, with mainstream films failing to produce iconic characters or memorable humor. This part will analyze the modern challenges facing Bollywood comedy, provide detailed case studies of recent failures, and propose solutions to revive the genre. Modern challenges facing Bollywood comedy. The transcript identifies several systemic issues that have contributed to the decline of Bollywood comedy. Let's explore these challenges in depth, expanding on the speaker's points with additional context and analysis. Lack of iconic characters. One of the most striking criticisms in the transcript is the absence of new, memorable comedic characters. In the past, characters like Baburao Ganpatrao Apte, Hera Pheri 2000, Crime Master Gogo Andaz Apna Apna, and Chote Pandit Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2007 became cultural icons due to their unique traits and catchphrases. The speaker highlights Rajpal Yadav's reprisal of Chote Pandit in Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 and 3 as a failed attempt to recapture the magic of the original. Instead of creating fresh characters, filmmakers rely on recycling old ones, resulting in performances that feel forced and uninspired. This lack of originality is a symptom of a broader creative drought in Bollywood. Writers are no longer drawing inspiration from real-life observations, as they did in the past. The transcript cites the character of Dugal Sahab, Chupke Chupke, inspired by forgetfulness, and Gulu, the taxi driver in Bhagam Bhag 2006, based on the resourcefulness of Indian immigrants. In contrast, modern characters like Kartik Aaryan's Ruh Baba in Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 lack distinct traits, relying on mimicry of Akshay Kumar's original performance. Poor writing and reliance on memes. The transcript singles out writers like Farhad Samji for their role in the decline of Bollywood comedy. Samji's scripts, particularly for the Houseful franchise, are criticized for their crude and tasteless humor, reliance on double-meaning jokes, and recycled gags from WhatsApp and memes. This approach contrasts sharply with the real-life inspired humor of earlier writers like Kader Khan and Neeraj Vora. The reliance on memes reflects a broader cultural shift. In the internet age, humor is increasingly driven by short, shareable content. While this has democratized comedy, it has also lowered the bar for originality. The transcript notes that modern writers literally lift jokes from WhatsApp and paste them into scripts, a practice that undermines the craft of screenwriting. This approach fails to resonate with younger audiences who are accustomed to more sophisticated humor on platforms like YouTube and OTT services. Nostalgia baiting. Bollywood's obsession with remakes and sequels is a recurring theme in the transcript. Films like Houseful 5, Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, and the upcoming Welcome to the Jungle attempt to recreate the magic of their predecessors but fall short due to their lack of innovation. The transcript's reference to Hera Pheri 3 underscores this issue. Even a beloved franchise cannot succeed if it relies solely on nostalgia without offering new humor. Cultural and political constraints. The transcript highlights the poisonous political environment in India as a barrier to producing satirical or political comedies. In the past, films like Jain Bhi Do Yaro and Angur used satire to critique societal issues from corruption to class divides. Today, however, the rise of political correctness and social media outrage has made such humor risky. The speaker notes that offense takers are on every street corner, ready to criticize jokes on religion, politics, or gender. This cultural shift has forced filmmakers to play it safe, resulting in bland, formulaic comedies. The transcript's example of Houseful 5's cheap double-meaning jokes being marketed as clean comedy illustrates this hypocrisy. Meanwhile, genuinely subversive humor, such as political satire, is deemed too controversial, limiting the genre's potential. Conclusion: the second part of this analysis has delved into the modern challenges facing Bollywood comedy, from the lack of iconic characters to the reliance on nostalgia and poor writing. Case studies like Houseful 5 and Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3 illustrate the genre's shortcomings, while OTT shows offer a glimmer of hope. To revive comedy, Bollywood must invest in new talent, encourage original stories, and learn from regional and digital platforms. As the speaker passionately argues, comedy is dead in Bollywood.